I'm making this for a friend who has their own brand, which is funny because I actually haven't made anything with my own Whale Snacks branding on it. But big fan of Trash Panda and the crew over there, so I made a handful of mugs for them. One of them, the handle cracked just a little bit, so I'm making a backup just in case. I just figured I'd share the process with you. This will get pasted. I already threw the mug, so sorry about that. I'm making him hairy. I know he's not hairy in their logo, but he's a raccoon. So he's got to be a little fuzzy. His eye moved a little bit. Don't want him to be derpy. We have to carve around so we can paste him onto the mug. Now we let him sit and dry up a little bit. If we touch him now, all of that detail will just go away. So here's the mug. And we need a handle for the mug. Fortunately, these clays don't match perfectly. This has a hole in it now. This is B-Mix. This is B-Mix, and this is 28 or something like that. But, you know, especially when it's just a gift, we're not going to worry about it too much. I'm probably the only person that's going to notice. And really the only reason it matters in the first place is because the color is going to show up a little bit different. So I'm going to be really careful about this because I could really do some damage if I don't pay attention. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing. But here's a little slab, and I'm actually just going to cut this handle out as opposed to pulling one, because the internet does not need to see that. Got a decently flat edge there, and this is a little handle pulling tool. That's much more handle than we need, but that's great. Now this part is called slipping and scoring. This is a perfect handle for this size mug. And we can kind of control the shape and stuff of it after we get it on there, so that's what we're going to do this time. Before we get the handle on, we have to trim the bottom of this. Love you! You wanna say hi?
Hi everyone. Love you.
Love you. So the point of a foot like this, you'll see I'm taking out most of the center here, but then leaving a small area on the outside. The concept is that if there's less surface area, there's less that needs to be perfectly flat. So by removing this whole middle section, really only this edge has to be flat. It's kind of a cheat, but it also makes it look nice. Sweet. And then of course, gotta put my stamp on the bottom here so everybody knows who made it. Otherwise you might think you bought it at a store. Just kidding. Not quite there yet. Alright, now let's get this handle on here. So I already scored it. I still need to slip it. So the concept here is like Velcro. So you're creating little hooks for the other side to attach to. So you do all sorts of directions, and then you also add what's called slip, which is literally just very wet clay. It's just another of the same body, and it equalizes the wetness on both sides. So this is a different type of wetness than this is. This is actually a little more firm. The slip helps kind of bridge that gap a little bit. Just wet clay. So we're gonna kind of cram that into these little gaps we just made. And you can tell this is a different color. All right, so that's the slip and score part. Then attach, then shape. Looks pretty good. See how that's pretty joined now? You don't see a lot of open space. There it is. All right, now last but not least is the Trash Panda logo. So same deal, but I'm actually going to use this little strategy that I like to use. Like that. Nothing. Now this part we're not going to blend in like we did with the handle, but we just really want to make sure that he is secured on there really good in all parts of it. And the benefit is there is a large surface area here, so it really shouldn't be an issue. Hope they're right-handed. So that's the first handful of steps for that process. We still have to fire it in the first kiln called the bisque fire, and then it has to be glazed, and then it will be done.